Hello, welcome to Billy Ho Sports. Today's show, we're going to dive into the FedEx Cup playoffs. Playoffs? I had to say that. We're walking in Memphis, but we're not getting the Blues, baby. So let's get this started. This year, we only have 70 players to begin the first event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. I didn't want to say playoffs again, but anyway. This is going to be a different strategy. It's a no cut. Normally, we had the 125 last year and had a cut and all that good stuff. So no more cuts. We need to dial it back to where we had those Century Tournament of Champions and the Heroes and the Zozos and all that kind of good stuff where we had those no cut limited fields. And so all I ask is please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Smash that like button. And let's get started. All right. TPC Southwind is a 7,200 and change par 70 golf course. I've obviously be bringing up similarities to this week's Wyndham. So get used to that because they are somewhat similar, except for the greens. The greens here are only 4,300 square feet. They are Bermuda and they tend to run fast. 10 holes with water in play. There's probably less water in play, or more water in play, I should say, here, which are real deal hazards than at Wyndham. But, there's similarities and differences, but the scoring and the opportunities for birdies and the front nine, back nine are all very similar to Sedgefield and Southwind. So we do have a long history here at Southwind. So course history will be important. And the Wyndham, like I said, is a good comp course due to the driving accuracy. The good approach game will get you far here. And then Southwind also has that nasty Bermuda gruff. It is gruff, believe me, rough that will eat your golf ball. Also, like Sedgefield, the better scoring holes seem to be on the front nine as opposed to the back nine. But this one's a little bit more even. It's not as big of a disparity, I should say. So anyway, there really wasn't much in flyovers that I could find that were any good. There's one that I think Pat Mayo used, and it's kind of dirty looking to me. So I just kind of cobbled together a couple of interesting holes. And the first one that you're seeing now is a flight simulator flyover, which is hilarious to me. I thought it was kind of neat, though, at the same time, but it shows you about the first four holes. And I just wanted to kind of do that just to kind of give you the topography of Southwind. So just to see, so you can see, then after that, you're going to see three of my feature holes that are on the back nine. You'll see that island par 3, number 11. Then there is a par 5, 16th. And then you have the difficult closing 18th hole. And that's just going to kind of give you an idea on how narrow the fairways are. You're going to need to be to win this golf tournament. Depending on the weather, I didn't really look yet, but we should see definitely hot and humid temperatures, and there's probably going to be afternoon storms possible this time of year, and that's just general knowledge. So there are 5 shortish par 4s that are like 395 to 420 in that range that you'll be using wedges on unless you lay up for some odd reason. There are also longer par 4s, 7 of those that run 450 to 500 yards. And players will be using those mid irons more than anything else there. And I'll show you as we come along. You'll see the from Fantasy National, the hole breakdown, like where the scoring holes are, where the birdie holes are, as it kind of spreads out the difficulties of it. But the first couple of holes are kind of easier par 4s, the shortest ones. And then you have a couple of shorter par 3s that you can get at. But the main bucket is going to be like the 150 to 200. So you see the two buckets for like 150 to 175, then 175 to 200. You can see how they're over the average on this. And it is kind of similar to Sedgefield in that fact. But Sedgefield, there's a lot of laying up involved. It takes driver out of your hand, and that's kind of how it is here. So anyway, you're going to see all the skill sets involved as I'm going through this. So just kind of grab you a screenshot or whatever you need to do. And per the Wyndham last week, so goes this week. The surgical guys off the tee have the advantage. And the what I'll do when I make my model is I'll probably split fairways gained and good drives somewhere 50, 60-40, almost even. But good drives are obviously, if you haven't really heard what good drives are, is missing the fairway, but still making the green in regulation. So good drives are very important here because you're going to miss more fairways, I think, here than you would at Sedgefield. And greens in regulation are going to be a lot bigger stat. I didn't use greens in regulation at all last week, but this week they will be, due to those smaller greens, be very important. So weather-wise, actually, I lied to you. I took a screenshot of this the other day and forgot about it, but this is what the weather looks like this coming week, and it's going to be hit and miss as far as storms all next week. So imagine the course will play soft, and we will see probably preferred lies like we did a little bit here at Sedgefield. But the green size, like I said, 4,300 square feet. So greens in regulation much harder. So I will place more emphasis on that. So like I said, good drives, fairways gained, approach with emphasis on those buckets I mentioned, scrambling from the rough, as important as greens in regulation this week, bogey avoidance, birdie or better, and DK points and all that good stuff. And to round things out, the players, like I said, we got 70, but the field is not really quite set because there's, which will be an interesting dynamic to this afternoon's golf. Guys like Justin Thomas, will he hang on? I think he needs a top 18 or better. He was sitting about T12 when he teed off. Will he be able to hang on to the finish and make it to Memphis? A couple of other bubbles. Cam Davis is in pretty good shape this week. Other guys like Vincent Norman, JJ Spahn, Matt Neesmith are kind of sweating. But what I will do is I'm going to show a couple of screenshots here of the course history. And it's really just 2022 leaderboard. What I'll have some emphasis on course history, but actually when I looked at the 2022 leaderboard and saw where these guys up here and their recent form, I said, this is a good jumping off point right here. So you're looking at the top 5 right now. Sepp Straka, who lost in a playoff here, obviously playing outstanding golf. He's been getting it done. Just had another win to his belt and played really well over in the British Open. Andrew Putnam back playing well again. He's pretty good. I used him in DFS this week. So he's got middling results, but he had an up there top 15 type finish. Lucas Glover, Brian Harmon, both playing outstanding golf. Lucas with that new putter. But obviously Tony Finau's up here, and his form is concerning to say the least. So he's a guy we're going to have to make a decision on. I mentioned Adam Scott, Sung J M, Cam Davis, all going pretty well at Wyndham. So I did say Wyndham. I think it translates from Wyndham to Southwind, the success. Then you see down here toward the bottom, Lee Hodges, who just ran away with the 3M Open. That's another guy that could be interesting. And then there's Tom Kim, who skipped defending the Wyndham title. That's just to name a few of these guys. Not Scotty Scheffler, not John Rahm, not Rory McIlroy. I wanted to put some names out there that might be familiar to you, that are good form, and that we need to look at, because you're going to have to get different somehow. There's going to be more possibility of dupes in lineups and everything that you're playing. So anyway, this is just a preview, jump off point. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the DraftKings show and more horse racing and all kinds of stuff as we try to grow the channel. So until the next time, see you soon. Thank you for watching.